Kjenne and føle are good examples of words that we just cannot translate one by one into Norwegian from English, because in English we just have to feel, right? Why do we have two different verbs in Norwegian? What's the difference in meaning? Well, that's just how languages function, unfortunately. But I have good news. In the basic meaning, these two words are completely interchangeable. So you can say something like jeg kjenner smerter I brystet, or jeg føler smerter I brystet. Yeah, so you're feeling a pain in your chest. It's the same. Jeg føler en stor lettelse, jeg kjenner en stor lettelse, you're feeling a big relief, it's the same. Some Norwegians might tell you, yeah, there is a bit of a nuance that kjenne is a bit more for bodily sensations and føle a bit more for emotions. But to be honest, I've done a lot of research on that and I see Norwegians use them in the wrong way, meaning interchangeably a lot, so you don't need to worry about this. Even the official Norwegian dictionary lists them as synonyms. But let's dive a little deeper and see what we can do with these words and how we should use them correctly. One thing you might have noticed if you have some grammar training, and if you don't, then you should really get yourself a Norwegian course. Doesn't have to be my course, but some Norwegian course that will explain the grammar to you. These words need an object. So, jeg føler smerter, jeg føler en stor lettelse. Yeah, they need an object. And we can also use them just with an adjective. But when we do that, then they become reflexive verbs. And that means that we have to add a pronoun. So we would say something like, jeg føler meg trist. Han kjenner seg ensom. Yeah, you cannot just say, jeg føler trist. That's not correct. It sounds a bit weird in Norwegian. Of course, people will understand what you want to say, but it sounds a bit odd. So try to remember that. Another thing is that feeling and feeling are not the same. Usually when we feel something, it's a very passive process. The emotion or the pain or whatever, it just comes towards us without us doing something, but we can feel, for example, the quality of the fabric. Imagine you want to buy my t-shirt and you touch it actively, you're doing something in order to feel the quality of the fabric, to see if the price is justified, and then you would say, jeg føler på stoffet. You have to add this little preposition på, and in recent years it has also become quite normal to add this på, even when we're not feeling something actively. So you can say, for example, jeg kjenner på et stort ansvar. Yeah, like you don't do anything to feel the responsibility, but still people would say that. You don't have to do it, you can drop it in these situations, but it has become a little bit more common nowadays. We can also use these verbs in passive voice. For example, det føles vanskelig. Det kjennes vanskelig. That works also and is quite common. But in a few situations, there is actually a difference in meaning between these two. For example, you can say føle for, and that means that you want to do something. Jeg føler for å gå en tur. You cannot say jeg kjenner for å gå en tur. Yeah, this combination føle for, easy to remember, yeah, føle for, that doesn't work with kjenne. You can also say, when you're compassionate with someone, you can say, jeg føler med deg. Yeah, so føle med means, yeah, I'm feeling with you. I'm feeling the same sadness or whatever, and you just want to express your empathy towards somebody or sympathy. Then you can say føle med. You cannot say kjenne med. That doesn't work. But you can say kjenne etter. What does that mean? It means that you're focusing a bit more on a specific feeling. For example, let's go back to the pain in the chest. Your doctor might ask you, kan du kjenne etter hvor du føler smertene? And what you might mean by that is that you should really focus on where exactly is the pain located. Yeah, that's kjenne etter. So like zooming into the feeling. That works with kjenne, it doesn't work with føle. And then there is another thing we have to say about kjenne. Kjenne can have a completely different meaning. It can mean to know someone or a place or, yeah, something in the sense of I'm familiar with this person, or I know who he is. Like, for example, jeg kjenner Niels. Yeah, if you know Niels, the main character of my Norwegian course, you have seen him before, you recognize him, you would say, jeg kjenner Niels. It doesn't mean that you're feeling him. It means that that you're familiar with him, you recognize him, and so on. And here we have another problem. We have the difference between kjenne and vite, which both translate to know in English. But that's a topic for another video.